So we're gonna work with it. Lisa, don't show Saya this part of the video. Hi friends, it's Dina. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new here today. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to stop by and take a look at what we're doing. Today we are doing something very different, and if I'm honest, we're doing something that normally I don't like. And that is Dollar Tree DIYs. And why I normally don't like them is because I feel like you go to Dollar Tree and you have to buy 15 of something to make one item, and that just drives me crazy to think, okay, it's no longer a Dollar Tree DIY if you're spending like $20-$30 to put something together that I could have gotten at Hobby Lobby for 15. So I know I'm doing something totally out of my realm, and I might not end up liking it at all. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't yet put it all together. And I'm gonna be honest about one more thing, is I sometimes forget that I create here on YouTube. And so I'll think something up in my head while my hair is on the top of my head and I am in my jammies and it's like 9 o'clock at night and I'm like, oh, I wanna try this. And so a lot of times I forget to record that. So I did try to record some of the process as I began. It's just little snippets, but we're gonna try and insert that and then just kind of carry on from there. But what I'm hoping to do is to create some type of wall art out of some frames that I picked up a few months back. So you may have them on hand, or maybe by chance you can run across them at your store. I have not checked if they are still online, but they kind of went viral a few months back and I was just lucky enough to pick some up. And I'll show you in the video soon enough, but I just wanted to kind of let you know that I don't even know if this is going to work. Because if it's gonna look like the Dollar Tree is on my wall, no offense, I just don't want it to look that way. I want it to look like we elevated the Dollar Tree items, not just put them on my wall. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that doesn't offend anybody. It's just my opinion. So we will see if we can pull this off, or we just might pull it off the wall. But we'll go ahead, have our hand at it, and get going. So let's see what we can come up with. Okay, I wanted to quickly run through what I will be using today. Now, the majority of the items did come from Dollar Tree. These little frames really don't look too bad to start out with, and that's probably why they went viral at the beginning of the year. Costing $1.25, you just can't beat that price, and so that adds to why they went viral. So I'm using those and this beautiful frame I found at Goodwill, plus this decorative piece from Michael's. Now the next thing that I did do, which I didn't record, is I took them out back and I spray painted them all black. And I loved them at this point and contemplated leaving them this way. But then I did go ahead, bring out my rub and buff, and thought I just want to make a few highlights because I am putting them in the entry against a black wall. So I wanted them to pop just a little bit more. So I have two different rub and buffs out. I don't remember which one I used, but I think either gold would be fine. It's just going to be your preference. I went ahead and just very slowly I tried to paint that on as meticulously as I could, and I'll tell you what, that's not easy to do. And I felt like I messed up every 2 seconds, but in the end, I love the result, and I think it's going to work out great, and I'm so excited that I picked them up. So here is kind of a close-up of the rub and buff. I will go ahead and put on screen what I used. I'll have to go look that up. But it did take a little while. So if you're going to do anything like this, just know you're going to be there a little while. Now, this frame was not hard to do at all.
it's just simply running over the little dots that kind of went along with the larger frame as well. And then I did go ahead and add some Rub and Buff to that decorative piece from Michaels as well, just to brighten it up and add the same sheen.
All right, friends, so you just saw a little bit of the video that I put together when I began to put this whole art installation together, and I hope you enjoyed that and kind of saw the process behind it. And that is going to be obviously going into the entryway. Now, if you missed last week's video, I did take a curio hutch from there and I moved it over into our dining area to house some of the silver that I have collected and found at Goodwill, antique places, and then of course Facebook Marketplace was where I hit the jackpot for that. So I have that moved, and now that space is completely bare, which gave me an idea, and that's where we're going with this. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Italio art pieces. They are kind of similar to a wax seal. They're very small. Well, I can't say they're very small. I've not actually looked today measurements on some. I'm sure some are this size and then some might be a little bit bigger, but they are usually about $26 a piece, which I can understand. People are making those and they have to make their money back. I found many on Etsy, and actually there's one set that I would absolutely love. It is biblically themed and I would love it for Ronnie's office, but $26 a piece plus getting the frames that you want for it, it's just a lot of money. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try and make my own. And I ended up getting help from Lissa, our daughter. She's actually our daughter-in-law, but to us, she's our daughter. She made me these beautiful wax seals. If anybody knows Lissa, you know that you are going to get a beautiful wax seal on any type of stationery that she sends out, be it an invitation or anything during their wedding season. She had personal wax seals made up. And so she went ahead and made these for me yesterday. I went and picked them up and I told her, you are the best. And she is the absolute best. In fact, I was talking to our son, Josiah, this morning. He calls me on his late days. He calls me in the morning and we talk for a while. And I was apologizing to him again. Yesterday, Lissa had sent me a text about what time to come over for them. And I kind of just skimmed through, I guess, the first part of the text, totally forgetting that there was a whole nother sentence at the end after I saw the time. And she had invited me to dinner and I didn't realize it until I walked in the door and Josiah was like, you want to out her? And I'm like, who am I outing? And he was talking to Lissa saying, you want to out my mom about not answering your text. I'm like, oh my goodness, what do you mean? And she said, well, I invited you for dinner, but you didn't even care. I was like, I'm so sorry. So I was apologizing to him. I apologized to her again this morning, but I said, she is the absolute best. And he said, yeah, mine, I don't even really fight over who's the favorite anymore because we kind of know that she is. And I thought, you dirty dogs. But she is probably our favorite right now. Just don't tell the boys. Anyways, I have these wax seals that she made up for me. She ended up making me double the amount that I needed, which I kind of figured that she would. I wasn't sure what color I wanted to use, so I just said, go ahead and just make black. And then I thought if I wanted to highlight the floral or whatever was in the wax seal, I could easily do that with my Rub and Buff, just like I did in the frames. But I kind of love just the tone on tone. I think it's beautiful. If it shows up on the wall, then I might just leave it. I'm not sure. We'll see. And we'll see if it's gonna work. Like I said early in the video, I have no idea. But she did put the little sticky dots on the back, so it will be easy to remove and I could keep them and use them for something else. So either way, they're gonna come in handy and they're beautiful, and I'm so excited that I get to use them because she made them for me. So let's go ahead and move on to the next step. Okay, so I have most of the frames. I actually have two hanging on the wall because I wanted to see if I even thought this was going to work, so I'll have to go grab those. I do have this smaller one, which is actually a Dollar Tree frame, and I purchased this several years ago, and I did leave it its original color. I'm not sure if I want to change the color or not. This is going to go at the bottom of the art installation, so we'll see. Again, I can easily change it up if I want to, but I thought maybe something a little bit different and stark might help the whole entire installation kind of come together, at least in my head. So we'll see. So what I want to do right now though is I want to go ahead and make some patterns of the frames so that I can place the patterns onto the wall. So what I will do, and I thought about just using these, I put these paper towels in between just so they wouldn't scratch when I piled them on top of each other. I think I can use this paper towel for most of them. So what I'm gonna do is trace out my frame. That way I can put the paper on the wall and move it around until I think I have what I like. I could also, once I'm done, make sure that my hanger is in the right place. And once I have the pattern cut out, I can just poke a hole through the paper where the hanger is. So once the paper is on the wall, it's going to give me the idea of where I need to put my nail in the wall and keep everything level, I'm hoping. So what I will probably do also is number the back of my frame and the paper towel, because I don't know if this location is going to change from frame to frame. It might. And then also make sure that when you put your paper on the wall, that you're putting the back side to the wall, because it sometimes makes a difference. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it really does, and can mess up how things are hung if you don't keep track. So I'm gonna have to make sure that I number the front so I know that I'm seeing what I need to see, and I'm gonna number my frame. I'll also probably go ahead and take these off. I'm thinking, I don't know, I'll see once they're on the wall. They seem pretty flush, but I'm not sure. If they need to come off, they can. It's no big deal. But we'll go ahead and make our patterns and move on from there. Okay, I grabbed a pencil and I'm just simply going to trace out my frame. And you don't have to be that precise when you're making the pattern. You just want it to kind of mimic the shape of the frame. Okay, so, oh, that didn't work. I don't know if you can see kind of a little bit of the tracing. So there's one. Now these, I need to make sure that they are wide enough. I think they are. Yeah, and this one I'm gonna try and make sure it's at the top and at one side. So I only have 2 cuts to make. Okay, now that we've gotten all the patterns taken care of and I got a bracket put on that Goodwill find, I'm gonna go ahead and begin to cut these out. Now I just thought of something as I was moving that frame, besides my scissors are horrible. I will probably wait to take the easel part off of the frames until I know that I actually like these on the wall. I don't want to take them off and then not like it and want to use them somewhere else. If that makes sense. Okay. Number 1. And right now I know anything with the pencil is going to face me even on the wall, if that makes sense. because that's how it's going to be hung. So we'll continue cutting out. I just wanted to show you. Now, I didn't get up and close to the little grooves and things in these oval frames. I just kind of cut as close as I could to it. I figured that was good enough. The main thing is kind of getting the shape. And then of course, once we put the little hole where the bracket is, we can have a hole for where our nail needs to be on the wall. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of the frames and then we'll get back to that. Okay, we have all of our patterns cut out, so the next thing is to make sure that the hanger is upright. Now these are a little bit loose, they're from the Dollar Tree, so they're not going to be the best quality. Again, that's not to offend anyone, but it's true. So I'm going to go ahead and put my pattern face down. So the pencil side is going to face my frame. And then I want to get it as centered as I can. Make sure all along, and then kind of look, make sure that that hanger doesn't stay in place. You may want to tape it if you, I don't know, if it's moving too much on you, and you just want to make a hole right at the top of that little triangle holder. And so that is where, see that? I don't know if you can see. That is where your nail will go. Once this is taped to the wall, I'll know exactly where I need to put my nail. And actually what I do is I just go ahead, put the nail on through the pattern and then rip the pattern down once I'm done. Okay, so I need to number those. So we'll just call these number 1. 1 and 1. And then we'll move on to the rest. Again, just making sure that that hanger is upright, placing your pattern face down with the pencil drawing facing the frame itself. Rechecking that hanger because it does move. Kind of feel for it. And then just make your hole right at the top of that triangle hanger. There we go. Pattern number 2. And we need to number it. So 2 and 2. Okay, and we'll just continue to move along. Okay, so we're done with the pattern. So what we'll do now is we'll move over to the wall and begin to place the patterns on the wall and see what we come up with. All right, friends, I wanted to jump on and just give you a quick update on Sweet Baby August. Now, as many of you saw, I put up a post over the weekend to please pray for him. He was going in for some testing and possible surgery. He did end up having his surgery and he is doing so well. Now, I would love to tell you more, but it's not my story, and his family did not choose this outlet. I did, to ask you for prayer, and we are so grateful, beyond grateful, for all the prayers that have gone up on his behalf. In fact, his grandma was just talking to me the other day because I was telling her, I really need to do an update, but vagueness I think is probably better, and she agreed. And but she wanted me to make sure and relay that she understands 100% that prayer has brought him through and to this point in life. He is a little miracle. There's no doubt about that. He honestly probably should not be here at this point, and yet he is alive, he is well, he is beautiful. The one thing that I wish I could do, and I would never, you know, because this is again their story, but I would love to just show you a picture of this precious baby. You would want to pick him up and squeeze him and hold him all day long. I told his grandma the other day, it is a good thing I do not live close, because I think I would spend most of my days holding him. But anyways, we just really wanted to thank you for that. He does have a long and tough road ahead of him. So we are asking that you would continue to pray for him and his family. They have to be grabbing strength from somewhere, and I know it's through your prayers and the Lord being with them, because this is just, it's a lot. It is a lot. I can't even imagine, and my heart just goes out to them. So if you would go ahead and continue to pray for them, we would all greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I just wanted to give you a little update on him. It's a positive one, and we are just so grateful to you. So let's go ahead and get back to the video. Okay, I took a minute to lay all of them out kind of the way I want to have them on the wall, and I forgot to make a pattern of this. I had it over on the buffet, so I grabbed that really quick and made the pattern. Then after these two, this one will go up, and then this will be at the bottom. So let's go try and get these hung up on the wall. First, we'll go ahead and put the pattern up, and then we'll go from there. I just realized I hadn't really shown where I'm going to put these. So it's going to go right here on this blank black wall, and hopefully it's gonna look amazing. So the next thing is trying to figure out where to start on the wall. So that's what's going to be super helpful with these patterns. It'll give me time to adjust. So let's go ahead and get some on the wall, and we'll go from there. Okay, this probably isn't the best angle, but it's what I've got, so I'm gonna work with it. Lisa, don't show Saya this part of the video. And Donna, I'm gonna be really, really safe. I know you're gonna worry seeing me on this step stool. I will be honest, it scares me because my ankle, first time I got on it was the other day. I actually got on a ladder for the first time, and I was a little worried. So I will be extra careful. Make sure your number is facing out. And we'll just stick this right here. I'm assuming this is the center because I already have a nail hole there, but obviously we can step back and take a look. It's not going to take a lot of tape because the paper towel is so light. But this is what I love about making patterns, because you can place them on the wall and just kind of work with them to figure out the best spacing, make sure everything is level. So on. And I will come back with a level once I get more on. Okay. I don't know if that's actually going to be high enough, because we've got, you know, what, 5 more maybe going up, so we'll see. I might have to move them up just a little bit, which would be fine. I don't know, we'll see after a couple more. Okay, I have stood here, I've talked to you, I've laughed with you, I've asked you to leave me a comment at this point, letting me know if you think this part is beautiful. I was talking about the spacing, I turned around and I hadn't pressed record. So much fun. But anyways, I'm gonna put you up a little bit here. I'll just do it now. Okay, so I've spaced it out. I talked about also, I don't know if I should move that one, the top one, up just a little bit more because I try to keep the spacing the same. This one's actually a little bit closer than that as well, so I don't know. I guess I could move these down just a hair, but they're level. So it's like, do I risk? Does it look bad? I don't know. I don't know. So go ahead, make a vote. What do you think of the white patterns on the beautiful black wall? So far. So we've got those done. I think we will be okay for spacing. I think it might end up kind of being even, kind of. I don't know how else to explain it, but I think we'll be okay. If not, we can always move them up a little bit more, obviously, and that's why we're using the patterns first. So let's finish that. We've got these two, yes, right? The two oval ones, I think, are what I had next. And so there's so much spacing to think about, because you want to think about the spacing between each pairing or grouping or whatever. I mean, there's obviously singles as well, but then you want to make sure that you have spacing from the middle of this one for these next two, or like the middle of this one compared to these and that, you know, it's just, there's a lot to think about. So you kind of hope that your eye works. Kind of hope. See, like it didn't there. And I found, for some reason, I always tend to put this side higher. Why? I don't know. My eye must be higher on that side. Now it's too high. That we have our handy dandy level. That doesn't always work. I was complaining about that as well, because I feel like it doesn't always work. Like I have to jiggle it or whatever to get it to say, oh, okay, yeah, I'm measuring it out. That's pretty close. So I think that needs to go up just a little bit. The high side isn't as high as I thought it was. See, now it's not working at all again. What you get for stealing stuff from your husband's stash. It stops working on you. Okay, that's good. All right, what do we think so far? And again, I'm hoping, I don't know, should I? I'm not even gonna remeasure, because I'm going off of what I already had up there, and I'm hoping that was in the middle, and I probably have the light, or the switch, you know, measured into what I already, oh yeah, anyways. We're just gonna go from there. So we have one more, and it's this small one. I'll put it up, and then we'll see if we want to move it up or not. All right, that is the look. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. Y'all can be honest. It's not gonna hurt my feelings, because I know we're doing some kind of weird Dollar Tree hack. They're not my favorite either, but we're gonna try. Okay, so, I don't know. Let me think a minute. Okay, thought about it for a little bit. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. I think the spacing is good enough. We will see. We'll start to put them up. Now remember, that bottom one, still not sure about. I did not make it the same color gold as everything else that's going up there, but I did that on purpose. So give me a break on that one until I figure that one out as well. And baby, if you're looking, and I don't like this, I know there's like 7 or 8 extra holes in the wall, but we can fix them. All right, let's hang them up. Okay. Being I have numbers on them, I'm going to go ahead and leave them up there as I bring the frames over and hang them up so I know exactly which pattern goes to which frame. So I'll go get those and start hanging them up. This one I can go ahead and take off. It's not numbered. Oh my gravy, I love it. Y'all, I'm actually kind of loving this. Oh my gravy. Okay, this one doesn't need to stay up. It's not numbered. Y'all, I don't know. I am like loving it. Loving it. I hope you are. And we don't even have our little wax seals up yet, but I love it. I love it. And on the wall, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't know that they were from the Dollar Tree. I don't know, y'all. I think I like it a lot. I think I like it a lot. My gravy. And I think I'm loving that just other pop of gold. I think it's working for me. So I think I'm gonna leave it like that. If I change my mind, I change my mind. But right now, I think I like that. So let me go get one of the wax seals or a lot of the wax seals. But I'm gonna try one first and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, I think I'm gonna start with this frame, and I have this wax seal. It's leaves, I believe. I'm gonna try and put it in the middle. Just kind of hold it there for a second. Oh my gravy. Oh my gravy. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna put the rest of them on and then I'll show you the end result. But right now I am so loving this, and I don't believe it looks like a Dollar Tree project. Now, obviously I have this and this that did not come from Dollar Tree. This was from Goodwill for like $4 or $5. And this I found at Michael's, I believe last year. It was the only one in the store. I think it was a God thing. I know he probably really doesn't care about my decor, but I had been searching for one this size online, trying to put everything I could into our computer to figure out if I could find one. I couldn't. I walked into Michael's and it was sitting on a shelf all by itself, and it was $5. So I think he cared that day. Okay, now I'm gonna put the rest on.
Hello again. I just wanted to jump on to share a little bit of encouragement with you today. Sometimes it can seem like life is just so overwhelming and can kind of knock the joy out of us. Honestly, one look at the evening news can really do a person in. But I'm here to remind us all that life and even the evening news cannot steal our joy, because joy is a gift from God. Joy is something that is placed deep down inside us. It's a sense of contentment. It's internal, an internal state of being. Joy isn't dependent on what is going on around us, be it circumstance or even our own feelings during the day. Joy is our relationship with God. Joy is more than happiness. It is strength and resilience, a true gift that can be found in the midst of prayer and focusing on His goodness and grace.
All right, friends, we have come to the end of the video. I am so glad that you decided to come with me today. I am impressed. I am impressed with the Dollar Tree items today. I think that we were able to elevate them and they don't look like they came from the Dollar Tree. I love this grouping. I think it all works together so well. I'm super excited about it. I do think I'm going to go ahead and leave the wax seals black. I think they pop when you're here in the house. They've got a little bit more sheen to them than the flat black paint that I used to paint the frames. So I think it's working out great. I can always go back in and use some Rub and Buff and highlight it if I want. But right now I'm gonna live with it for a little bit and see how I like it like this. I think it looks so good and I'm so happy that it came out like it did in my head. It worked. I am so glad. I hope that you enjoyed it as well. Maybe it gave you some inspiration for your own home. If you happen to have anything like this, obviously you don't need to use these exact frames and you don't have to use my color story. You could use any color. I think it would be absolutely beautiful in a taupe color, a gray color, anything that kind of matches your wall space, I think would be lovely. It could be great in a bathroom or anywhere in your home. It's kind of a color wash of sorts when it comes to wall decor. Obviously, I have a few pops of color with the cameo and then this different color gold down here, but I think it all works together quite lovely and I'm super excited about it. Thank you so much for being here today. Again, thank you for all your prayers, your love and support for baby August and for my little channel. It truly does mean so much to me to have you here week after week. Your comments truly touch my heart. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week. Remember to stay safe, be blessed, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.